What's Happening Hoke Show. I'm Hal Nunn.
And I'm Glenn Young.
Come on in.
And we're back for week 2, What's Happening Hoke Show.
Dose.
I'm Glenn Young alongside Hal Nunn.
What's up?
And we are live at our Daily Bread Cafe for today's special, because it is Thursday, baked spaghetti.
How was it last week?
It was excellent. $6.95. You can't beat that. $6.95. So because it is Thursday, every Thursday baked spaghetti, but they have a special every day of the week. Mm-hmm. And of course, our show is brought to you by
Our Daily Bread Cafe, Rockfish, and Rockfish Speedway. You can see them right here. And Rockfish Speedway is getting ready to open up their first weekend this weekend. Saturday, I think gates open at 2.
Gates open at 2. Warm up and the heat's at 4. Race kicks off at 5.
So, and they'll, like every weekend at Rockfish Speedway, they'll have them home or out of there by 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock, 10 p.m., everything's shut down, racing will be complete.
So check out Our Daily Bread Cafe and Rockfish Speedway in the Rockfish community of Hoke County, and come by on Thursdays to check us out live at 4 o'clock.
Right here.
And our good buddy from IMP Network, I keep messing it up.
Raekwon
is behind the camera. Got the nice setup here going on. So come by and see us next week at 4 o'clock.
Hey, you got time. We're on till 5.
All right.
They may be stuck in traffic, or maybe they're on their way now. But today's guest is Coach Tom Parish of Hoke County High School.
Yeah, we got Tom Parish, the head coach of Hoke County High School, a legend in this area in football. His family, was legends in Red Springs area, Robeson County. We'll have him on to talk a little bit about Hoke County High School. We have spring football now.
Yep.
So we'll talk a little bit about spring football practice.
There's a big change in spring football this year, so he's going to talk about that. But he's going into his second year. What's going on in the news?
Well, first of all, let's talk about the weather, because there's been some folks we need to keep in our thoughts and prayers. You said it was over in Franklin County,
Franklin County, Lewisburg area got hit pretty hard last night with a hailstorm. And they say it was softball-sized hail, and they hit a lot of pictures and video on WRAL where they just hit the side of people's trailers and glasses and did a lot of damage. So
we may have some thunderstorms tonight and tomorrow. Right now, I always use WRAL as my weather source. Thursday, 77 degrees is the high, 65 could be the low. They got thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, and some rain coming in tonight. Also Friday, mostly cloudy, 82 though. So the weather's warming up. It's going to be warm. Saturday looks good, 75 degrees. So Brownie and Larry Long should have a good weekend of racing at Rockfish Speedway. Also Sunday, mostly clear, 71 degrees. And then going into next week, sunny on Monday, and then some thunderstorms coming back probably on Tuesday and Wednesday. But check out your weather, be safe, and be thinking about those folks in Franklin County. And we got other news topics going on. Obviously, locally, we want to start with Hoke County and the News Journal. Of course, we got newspaper here. You can pick up a copy when you come into Our Daily Bread. One of the lead stories this week was the commissioners' meeting this week, where they talked about the roads in Hoke County. And man, do we have a lot of them. And I'm learning a lot because, they really just, first of all, Hoke County doesn't fix roads. The state fixes the roads.
That's right.
So the DOT from the state guy was here.
Potholes, with the winters that we had,
A lot of potholes, a lot of broken up roads. And here's the thing, they have an issue with private roads and public roads. Mm-hmm. You really need to check out the story in the News Journal to get the real details of it. But what it is if a builder comes in and builds a neighborhood and doesn't put in a paved road, he puts in a dirt road, it's their responsibility to pave it, not the state.
Exactly.
And the state is basically saying, we'll take over the roads, but you got to pave them first.
Yeah.
And then you can take them over. Plus, the state is on a backlog of repairing the roads. They're like a decade behind, man.
I know as you come out of my neighborhood in Somerset, right as the edge, there's a sign that says state maintenance ends. So
it's tough. Yeah. Plus, you got the military installation, and you got the military installation, which that's federal money. Mm-hmm. So you got some federal issues there. But check out the story about the roads, and let the commissioners know what you think. If you know some roads that need repair, let them know so they can relate it. Also, the community board here at Rockfish, I believe they meet on April 23rd over at the U-Haul building. They're also going to be taking some ideas for the roads and things that we can do in Hoke County to maintain the roads there. Another story was going on, of course, this weekend was Stony Brook, the big steeplechase. I told Larry and Brownie it was the real horsepower of Hoke County, but that's all right.
Quite literally, yeah.
They got out there, had a really good crowd, had big crowds for that day, the big hat contest. And Stony Brook, I think, is in its 64th year. I think they've been doing this for a long time. So make sure you check out Stony Brook next year, actually all throughout the year, but it's good to have the races there. Also, did you know we had a castle in Hoke County?
Where?
A castle in Hoke County called Castle Hoke. There's a picture of it on the front page. This family...
Where's that located?
It's off of Myra Road on Rockfish, Rockfish. And they're trying to restore the castle, and they want to make it an entertainment place. You probably could do some photo shoots there for GPS photography
and video, buddy. I'm going to be right on it.
All right. Well,
that's a great scene for a photo shoot. So yeah,
check out the story there on the castle in Hoke County. And
coming out of Hoke Fest last week.
Yeah, Hoke Fest
year.
was crazy. Wow. Yeah. It was good weather, just like Stony Brook. Good weather for Hoke Fest. You were out there a couple days. What'd you think?
I caught up some of the concerts and something, and I think somebody owed me a turkey leg that they never paid up on. But it was good food, a lot of family out there, and it's a good event because it leads right into spring break for the kids.
Yeah, and Easter weekend, I think a lot of people might have been out of town. I think the numbers were down just a little bit compared to last year. But the timing with the carnival and the school, you have to fit it within their schedule, and it's kind of tough. But I tell you what, I'll treat you to lunch today. All right, great.
Now, all of this thing about Hoke Fest, and not to stay on the point, but it benefits East Hoke Middle,
yes. Correct? So Earl, it's a fundraiser for East Hoke Middle School. It's sort of a spinoff of the Hoke County Centennial Celebration we had 2011. Couple of deaths in the paper this week. First of all, first African American commissioner, Neil McFadder, passed away. He was elected, I think, in the 90s, early 90s. Passed away. And from what I know from some folks at church, told me he's such a fine gentleman. I never got to know him myself. And then a former deputy here in Hoke County, Bob Connerly, because there is a Bob Connolly, but there's a Connerly, passed away. And he was someone who was injured in an accident years ago in the sheriff's department. So we thought some prayers to their families, and you make sure you check out the classifieds and stuff like that in the newspaper. Over in Fayetteville, there was something that caught my mind in the Fayetteville Observer, caught my eye, and it was in the Live and Loud section by a fellow named Brooke Carborough. And they were talking about, we have a star in Hoke County, Ethan Hansen. I don't know if you've ever heard of Ethan Hansen. He's a Hoke County high school graduate. Very, very talented musician. And they're talking about this rock shop over in Fayetteville. It's a place where you can go see live rock music. That band that you saw, A Perfect Lie at Hoke Fest, they play there from time to time.
That's an all veteran band, too.
Yeah, and they're all veterans. They're all Afghani and Desert Storm. Maybe I think the older guy was from Desert Storm. But Ethan Hansen is a fine musician, and he's from Hoke County. Maybe we need to get him on
now,
here.
What does he specifically? Does he play?
He plays the guitar and sings. Is his main thing. But he has a backup band.
Okay.
And what they're talking about is they're bringing back local bands in the Fayetteville area. I'd like to see some place in Hoke County where we could have bands perform.
We could do a live band right here.
You could put a little band right here in the corner right here and have some live music.
Why not?
Well, okay, we can do that.
Hey, that'll work.
Also in the Fayetteville Observer, the third Thursdays at the Cameo Art House. So the springtime is here. You got the Dogwood Festival coming pretty soon. So make sure you check out all the activities.
All the plays at the Cameo.
In and around there. And one other thing I wanted to make sure we mentioned in the news segment. Last week I had the pleasure of going to a meeting with Congressman David Rouser about veterans, near and dear to our heart here.
Yes.
There's a lot of issues that are being talked about for veterans in Hoke County and North Carolina and our country. And some of the things that they talked about was continuous active service. You get a reserve or National Guard person that goes on, I think it's 179 days. If you hit 180 days, you get the benefits.
Exactly.
But they've been doing is they've been cutting them off with orders on the 179th day, wait a day, and put them back on orders. Also, they're looking into giving veterans online remote access to be able to facilitate their medical records. And then
they still have to load it as well.
And then they're talking about having a veterans fair where raters from the VA, because when you apply for a disability or something or a claim through the VA, a rater has to evaluate your claim. Congressman Rouser's looking at doing something where he brings the raters to us. Maybe we could have one right here in Hoke County.
So when they bring the raters in, so you talking about, so if you got a certain percentage, now you can get it upgraded. Or they'll reevaluate.
They'll look at it,
reevaluate
and they will reevaluate it, which means they could do two things. They can go, three things.
You could lose it.
You could lose it.
You could go up.
Leave it the same or go up. Right. So you could do a couple of things. So hopefully we'll see some more info on the Veterans Administration.
Did he talk anything about the new hospital that's coming up?
He mentioned the new hospital. They didn't talk about when it was going to open or how they were going to assign veterans to that hospital. Any other news topics that we left off? I don't see anything right now. Don't forget Rockfish Speedway this Saturday.
This Saturday.
And Our Daily Bread Cafe, and it looks like they've got you something to munch on.
They brought it in already, man. That's good.
All right, so
today's special.
We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. You going to do what?
I'm going to get some of that while we're breaking.
We'll take a break. Oh, I did want to mention the Partners in Education Golf Tournament coming up May 9th over at Bayonet at Puppy Creek. Partners in Education Hoke County is a funding source for many different things, Student of the Month and Teacher of the Month for Hoke County. So make sure you check out Partners in Education Golf. All right?
We'll be right back.
All right, what's happening, Hope? We're back for segment number 2. That's my favorite segment. It's the sports segment with Tom Parish and Glenn Young from GPS Photography and Video. We're at Our Daily Bread Cafe in Rockfish, and you need to come on out before the storms come because the clouds are starting to roll in.
Yeah, Thursday special, baked spaghetti.
Baked spaghetti, man, and last week Glenn had it. It was something else, and we're going to have a good time and eat some food and enjoy it too. But in our sports segment, I want to give a big shout out to the Hoke County Lady Bucks softball team. They're winning. They won their first tournament. Now, nobody has corrected me yet, and Brigman and all the other folks have said, I think you're right.
Gary Brigman, who's the
athletic director. That's their first tournament championship ever for women's softball, for softball at Hoke County High School. So congratulations to them. They beat Lumberton, and it was 14-6, and it was it was closer than that in the midway. It was 9-6 as close as it got. So there was some stressful times. Congrats to Heather Glass and her girls and all the staff, the coaches for winning that game. The team's pretty good, Tom.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're fun to watch.
They're fun to watch. They're exciting. So catch a Hoke softball game if you can. Also, the 2015 Masters started today.
Yep. Tiger teed off a little bit ago.
Tiger's back. Now let's see if he can maintain that form that he's had in years past. I'm telling you, once you start messing with your back, man, your back is something, especially in golf. And I would imagine some football players have the issue as well. Once your back goes, it's like almost everything else goes with it. But Tiger's back today. He took a few weeks off, and so hopefully he'll do well. I can't remember who was leading right off the top of my head. I'm a big Bubba Watson fan, so I'm hoping Bubba can pull it off. And then we have guys from Raleigh, Webb Simpson and Chesson Hadley. Those guys are from Raleigh. So kudos to the Masters. I wish I could go. It would be fun. In the National Championship basketball Monday night, those Duke Blue Devils, I don't know who Tom pulls for. I'm an NC State guy. He's West Virginia.
Well, my pick was a little bit off.
Yeah, I had Wisconsin.
Kentucky. I had Kentucky and Duke, so I was half right.
Yeah. And so Duke took home the national championship, fifth for Coach K. He is, in my opinion, hands down the best college basketball coach in the country. That's just
point of emphasis. Freshmen now, one and done. What you thought?
So now everybody got to reveal. I like to know what Coach thinks on these players being, in baseball you got to do 3 years. Football is 2 years, right? And basketball is 1 year.
Football didn't come out the junior year.
What do you think about them being able to jump out?
Well, the thing about baseball, they got a farm system too, and the fact that the NBA wants them to go to college now, and they won't draft them anymore straight out of high school. It's hard to get vested in a team and in a program when you do have kids who are in college for 1 year, because that's what they got to do to make the jump. And regardless of how well anybody thinks Mike Krzyzewski or how good a coach he is, he's definitely a great recruiter.
There's no doubt about that. And so is John Calipari and those other guys, and Roy Williams as well. Tom Izzo, and Ryan, I forgot his name. Bo Ryan for Wisconsin. I like the way he carries himself. He'll tell you like it is, and he doesn't tap dance around it. Another key topic in college, just so we know, J.P. Tokoto has decided to go pro at Carolina. That was put out yesterday.
That this morning on the news.
My buddy Brett Friedlander from the Star News did a story on J.P. Tokoto. So the Tar Heels are losing some power. That kid was good, and they're gonna have to start researching.
You mentioned recruiting, but of the sports, you got baseball, football, and of course basketball. I think it's harder in basketball because they're one and done. With football, it's hard to tell a kid you should stay because you got to make your own personal choice, especially if an injury could happen.
Yeah.
And so when you look at the whole big scandal behind the academics, what kind of classes could these guys be taking in 1 year?
Not a lot.
Freshman English 101, freshman seminar. Thanks for playing and gone. Hopefully they will go back and finish their
education. And you got to take 12 hours only to be considered a
full-time student. Right. But when somebody has millions of dollars in front of you,
dangling right there,
life-changing an event, it's hard to say no. So everyone's got to make their own personal choice, and hopefully they'll go back and get their degree, and hopefully they'll be able to save their money. And they won't end up broke. That's
right now. We just got to hope that the players get through number one healthy, and then if they do decide to go to the big leagues, like you said, find somebody to help them take care of their money, not blow their money.
Exactly.
Also, the NFL draft is coming up in 3 weeks. Big talk about Marcus Mariota and Jameis Winston. If I'm looking at football and I see that big Jameis Winston standing out there, man, I can't not take him. I don't care what baggage he's got on the sideline. The pros, you go for the talent.
He's a heck of a player.
He is amazing. And as far as Duke, they almost lost a coach this week. Jeff Capel, who's from the Fayetteville, Hope Mills area, his family, is from this area, turned down the Arizona State job to stay at Duke. So, could he be the next guy behind Coach K? It's possible.
Well, you want to talk about leaving a sure thing versus something that might happen,
right?
If he's in a good situation, his family's in a good situation, and I always like to think that families play a big choice in coaches staying or going. I really do. If that's the best situation for him and his family, yeah, I'd stay.
All right. Spring football's coming up. Your own Hoke County's own Earl Wolf is actually going to coach in the NC State spring game. Earl Wolf with the Philadelphia Eagles still this year. And I'm trying to see if he's in the town or somewhere where we could talk to him. But Earl will be there Saturday. I think the game starts at 1 p.m. at Carter Finley Stadium in Raleigh. And Carolina's spring game is going to be at what high school was that?
Rocky River.
Rocky River, because their field is being renovated right now.
They're playing this weekend also.
I think it's this weekend also. And tonight, UNC Pembroke. I don't have my Braves hat on. I got my Rockfish Speedway hat. But the Braves of UNC Pembroke do their game tonight. Obviously, we won't be able to promote that too much. But the athletic director, Dick Christie's a good friend of mine, and I got kids there, so it's a little personal for me. But UNC
Raekwon
Pembroke
is a graduate of it.
And Raekwon, our production guy, is from UNC Pembroke and Pinecrest. So, all right, high school football. We are finally have some spring practice. Is that right? Have you guys been able to get out there and do anything?
Well,
it's not really
to say it's spring practice is not entirely true. It's I've got mixed emotions about it. I do like being able to have them all together with unlimited numbers for 10 days, but by definition, it's really more of a condensation of what we were already doing with limited numbers. So we don't necessarily have the time that I would like to spend on quote-unquote skill development with those who need it the most. And when you have limited numbers, you can concentrate on the development of skill with those who need it. But when when it's an all-inclusive deal, it poses some logistical problems. But we're working and we're planning everything, and I think we got a good plan, and we're going to get the most out of it for the 10 days that we're going to be able to go out and work.
What time period is that? So where are we at in that structure?
The way the state has reworded it, you have 10 days that you can do skill development with unlimited numbers, but it must be performed within the last 15 days of the semester.
And this is full pads?
You can go full pads, but there is no body-to-body contact.
No hitting.
No body-to-body contact. We will probably not go full pads. We will probably go shells, shoulder pads and helmets and girdles. But if we can't do full body-to-body contact, then there's no point in putting them in pants, and it just increases the laundry problem for us. But so we're going to take what we got, and we're going to work it, and we're going to concentrate on fundamentals, do a little bit of install, and start working to evaluate our personnel before we get into summer practice.
There's a thing of conditioning as well.
Not so much. Our running program begins Monday.
Monday when they come
April
out
the
of spring
13th,
break.
correct. And our running program is very aggressive. It is progressively harder each and every day. At the end of our program, it's actually slated for 15 weeks. We will take 3 weeks off, which will be the point at which we are doing our 10 days of spring practice.
Right.
When we walk off the track from that last running workout, every kid that has successfully completed our program and has been there every day will have sprinted 16 miles. It's geared more in the first 4 to 5 weeks. It caters to the out of shape student athlete, and we work and bring them along with progressive degrees of difficulty and minimal recovery, just to try and build a fitness level that's going to be conducive to them being able to play.
Now, you've had losses or graduation at quarterback position. What are some of the other key positions that you like? You got a lot of holes to fill.
Yeah, we do.
It's always next man move up, but who's going to be the man this year?
Losing Antonio, that's a big deficit at quarterback. Right now, we've got 3 kids identified who we're projecting as competing for that quarterback slot. Andre Pegues, KJ Thorpe, who was our JV quarterback, and Aaron Holiday. There's a possibility somebody else could emerge, and
just see what happens.
No telling what you get over the summer. You could.
So all of these are juniors.
Actually, all 3 are sophomores.
All 3 are sophomores. Wow,
all 3 are
That's
sophomores.
a good problem to have.
That is a very good problem. And the prospect of having a quarterback for 3 years, that's pretty good deal.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Defensively losing Justin Baldwin.
Yes,
how do
a
you,
leader.
How do you replace a Justin Baldwin? I mean, by
and then
far,
the leadership that he brought as well.
No doubt about it. Not only a great leader, but arguably in my opinion, the best linebacker in the conference. Led the conference in tackles, and that was with 3 of our best opponents primarily running away from it.
Right.
He's going to be a very, very difficult one to replace.
But Jacob Rushing's back at quarterback, running back, but he's also going to play defense.
He will. Jacob figures into our linebacker core. We've had some discussions as a staff, and we have our untouchables on offense, and our tailback is one. And Coach Walworth is upset right now, and Coach Terry are upset because I told them Jacob's not an untouchable yet, and. I told them that they needed to understand that if it's 3rd and short, Jacob's going to be on the field. And, of course, they kind of wiped their brow, and they were like, well, good. I said, no, I don't think y'all understand. If it's 3rd and short, regardless of which unit's on the field, he's probably going to be on the field.
He's going to be there. You got a new schedule this year. We got a couple new spots on the schedule. Got the fresh copy in my hand here. Obviously, we're going to start off with New Hanover. They're going to be new. New Hanover's always been a pretty good football program. Actually, in some cases, they've been very good football program. New Hanover, we're going back to play Jack Britt again this year, which is always tough. A lot of folks out here in Rockfish know
Boneyard,
Jack Britt High School. 71st and Southview, E. Smith. And then we got a new crowd. Is that the Griffons?
The Griffons.
The Rocky Mount Griffons. We're going to be traveling all the way to Rocky Mount.
Now we dropped Westover.
Tell us how that came about.
Actually, Westover backed out of the contract on us. Their conference schedule interfered. They actually began conference play 2 weeks before we were scheduled to play them, and their league is so big. We didn't find out until 12th hour. It was very late, so it put us in a little bit of a scramble mode, trying to find an opponent. Fortunately, spoke with Coach Battle at Rocky Mount. They were looking for a game as well, and we were able to work it out. And Coach does a great job. Rocky Mount is steadily improving, and I think it'll be a good test for us.
Now on 16 May, the rising freshman, you're going to hold a freshman combine.
Correct.
Can you talk about that and what the parents need to to look out for?
Well, and you know what we want is we want to get some hard numbers and identify the talent base that we have with our rising freshmen. It will be a combine format. You know, we'll time them in the 40-yard dash. We'll time them in the pro shuttle. I'm not sure yet. We're in a little bit of we haven't decided if we're going to do standing broad jump or if we're going to do vertical jump. And then we'll do a rep max on the bench press.
Okay.
Probably do a little bit of footwork and some movement drills just to see what kind of feet and what kind of hips the kids have. Based on what I saw last year with our middle schools, I'm very impressed.
And you got 3 middle schools that are pouring into you, which is
It's the 3 middle schools: Sandy Grove Middle, East Hoke Middle, West Hoke Middle. It's going to be a freshman combine. They're going to get them out there and put a gauge on them and see how they're doing. So parents, make sure you know about your check the
Panthers,
newspaper.
Tigers, and Eagles, all becoming Bucks.
Check the newspaper. Check the ihigh.com/fightingbucks GPS photography and video page, and check our page because we'll let you know that it's going on. And we just want to thank Coach Parish for coming out.
Appreciate it. As a bet, Coach.
All right. Thanks for coming in. We're going to take our break, and we'll be right back with the What's Happening Hoke Show.
And we're back with What's Happening Hoke Show. Remember, every week it's recorded live right here at our Daily Bread Cafe. Alongside me is Hal Nunn, and I'm waiting on today's special, which is the baked spaghetti.
Ooh, buddy.
But we had a great show.
Yeah,
Coach Tom Parish talked about a lot of important things: the physicals, the combine, the schedule. So that's going to be huge for the Bucks as they open the season.
Football is right around the corner. Spring practices are starting already. Parents of middle schoolers rising to the high school, look out for the combine for rising
May
freshmen.
16th for freshmen. And of course, race weekend. Opening race weekend at Rockfish Motor Speedway.
That's right.
Be out there at 5 as the race starts, the races. 4 o'clock, they're going to be warming up with the heats. Gates open at 2.
That's right. And don't forget the flea mall and the U-Haul building over there. If you want to get to the racetrack, this year they're going to have RC remote racing cars. And you can get out there with your remote cars and race those as well. And
Plenty to drink, plenty to eat.
That's right. And it's always a family event, non-alcoholic beverages over at Rockfish Speedway.
And you'll be home by 10.
And you'll be out of there by 10 o'clock. We want to thank the folks from our Daily Bread Cafe. Looks like you got salad over there now. So
1 minute. 1 minute is coming, brother. And just relax, brother. I'm good. Trust me.
All right. So don't forget the baked spaghetti special on Thursdays.
Every Thursday.
From our Daily Bread Cafe.
Come by here and watch the show.
Come by and check it out. Give us some ideas for show ideas, topic ideas, and things that you want to talk about or you want us to talk about in Hoke County. Just to reiterate some of the news, we talked about the roads and stuff like that. The weather, it's getting darker and darker out there
storms
today.
coming in.
And
of course, if you want to be a sponsor of the show, just give us a call at 910-257-0526 or contact Hal Nunn.
964-0990. Check us out on Facebook, facebook.com. Search What's Happening Hoke, and our YouTube channel is up and running. So go to YouTube and just type in What's Happening Hoke, and you'll find our videos and information there as well.
So that's going to do it for this week.
Yep.
We'll see you next week right here at our Daily Bread Cafe for the What's Happening Hoke Show.
Cafe in Rockfish every Thursday at 4 o'clock, and we want you to come in. Check us out where?
Right here at our Daily Bread, right here on Rockfish Road, every Thursday 4 to 5. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube. This show is for Hoke, by Hoke. It's your show, so check us out.